Perfect timing. So I just got a question. Someone was talking to me about something that they turned in for a class that I teach, and the data. So the assignment was just about raw data and just practicing taking that raw data, because that's what drives everything, right? So we're going to use our raw data to determine our present levels of performance. We're going to use our raw data to go from present levels of performance to goals, which means objectives, what we want the student to do. So data needs to be observable, measurable, and meaningful. We need to be sure that when we're taking data, we can generalize that across settings and across people. So if we have decided that we have a student that we're concerned about, maybe even a behavior, and we need to take data on that behavior, we want to be consistent. So let's take data at the same time, or as close to as possible, the same setting, and then maybe expand from there. But we also have to be very clear about what we're looking for or what we see. So if you're just taking some raw data about their day and how they're doing, and you say, Johnny plays well with peers. Check. Hold up, hold up, hold up. What looks like playing well with peers to you may not be the same as what looks like playing well with peers to me. So we need to take that fairly subjective statement and make it more objective. Something like, Johnny plays well with peers as noted by taking turns, keeping hands to self. Some other information to make that a little bit more objective. Opposite of that, you could take what I just said, plays well with others as noted by turn taking, keeping hands to self. And you could say something like, nice hands. So I'm not saying that teaching nice hands is not something you should do. I'm not saying that that's not even something you should maybe use when you're talking with your students. I'm just saying that if you use that in data, someone else may have no idea what that looks like. We can guess, we can assume, but we shouldn't have to. So let's just be sure that our data is very specific, observable, and measurable, so that, say you get busy and you're working with a student and you're really working on something intentional and purposeful, not that data's not those things, but maybe you need your teaching assistant to pick up the data and take it for you at that moment. That way they know exactly what they're looking for too. So it's just some things to keep in mind. Very observable, measurable data leads to very observable, measurable, present levels of performance and objectives and goals. Everything goes together. It all marries well. And if we start with very intentional data, then we can make a very intentional plan for, here is where the student is, here is where we expect them to be, and this is how we're going to get there. As long as we are specific, things fall into place. So this is just kind of an introduction just to get your kind of gears going and think about these kinds of things. And we are definitely going to add to this in some further data discussion.